just got in the truck. I've got my permit stuff here, getting ready to head to, I think, Rocky Fork State Park for our next adventure. Okay, I'm at the trailhead for the Rocky Fork Trail. The parking lot, as you can see way back there, has way more people in it than I would have thought to be here. So this trail, as I believe, it follows the creek for a bit. I'm going to be doing it backwards, and it's steeper that way. But again, in true O'Sullivan fashion, I didn't leave until too late, and so it's what I got to do. This will be fun though. Let's go. Like I said, this thing follows the creek a lot. It's awesome. I'd love to be able to hear that tonight, but I doubt I'll be able to. So, up the trail we go. So this is called mountain dog hobble, like a hobbling dog. I discovered that last time. Well, not last time. It's been maybe a month or so ago. I mean, it gets like this kind of purplish hue in the winter time, and it's called dog hobble because when like hunting dogs, like coon dogs and stuff, would go out and go hunting, the stuff would be so thick in the underbrush that it made them slower, and so it became known as dog hobble, mountain dog hobble.
Did you know that? Now you know.
I am a servant of the secret fire, wielder of the flame of Arnold. The dark fire will not avail you, flame of Udun. Go back to the shadows. You shall not pass!
You shall not pass!
No horses? Hey! I had to strip off my jacket and I put a headband on. I figured it'd be tough to start with the jacket. It's a good bit warmer than it was last weekend if you watched that video. Snow everywhere, frost everywhere, everything freezing. On the way here, my truck read 70 degrees. It wasn't that warm actually, but I mean, in the sun, it felt that warm. It was great. It's supposed to get down to 24 degrees tonight. So that's what I was prepping for. I guess we'll see. We'll see how cold it actually gets. But I've got a lot of uphill climbing to do before sunset, so I had to strip some stuff off. Another bridge. So I am maybe a good halfway through my uphill. Definitely not halfway. Maybe like a third. I wanted to say that this is a good way to pick up your cross and unite yourself to Jesus and his suffering, carrying the cross up the mountain. So next time you're hiking up a big steep hill, offer it up as a prayer. King John Paul II said, never miss an opportunity to suffer well. So try to suffer well. One plus about hiking in the winter or late fall is that you get to see views, as you climb, because there aren't leaves covering everything. just turned the corner and I'm going this way, looping around. So I thought the switchback was halfway up the mountain, but for the most part, the switchback it wasn't really a switchback kind of, because it turned at the top. And so it's more or less a little bit of a ridge walk with some slight up and downs for the time being. I shouldn't have too much longer until I get to the designated backcountry campsite. Okay, so getting real close to backcountry campsites. I would imagine this is the main trail and that the campsites are back here. I don't know why it says plural. I'm pretty sure there's just one. So this was a good little bit off of the way that like I originally was going. And that's because, well, there weren't really any good campsites along that loop. There weren't any campsites except one that was like within the first mile, and that's lame sauce. So I did this, and it also a little bit more hiking. Now, because this is actually on a state park, a tiny state park, you're required to have backcountry permits to camp back here in their designated spots. Okay, just got here to camp. This is the little pad that I get to camp on, and right here there's a little fire ring, so that's where I'll have a fire. So I'm going to set you up, get a time lapse of setting up my tent, and then I'm going to try and find some firewood. Okay, so I just finished setting up my tent and everything. All in all, it took me, it's about 15 minutes to get the tent set up, blow up the air pad thing, which I patched. We'll see if that holds through the night. It won't. I definitely need a new one. We'll see, maybe Christmas. Either way, today is the shortest day of the year. It is the winter solstice. And it's getting cold fast. Like my nose cold, my fingers cold. The sun is down behind the mountain. It won't be dark for maybe another hour. So I'm going to use this time to find some firewood and see if I can get some wood, some fire going. Yeah. Okay, it's been a minute since I've done an update. I've got a little bit of a fire going. It's not going super strong though. The firewood is really limited here because this is one of the only remote spots on like remote campsites on this state park. And so, you know, people are going to find the wood. So I've had to really just kind of get a stack of sticks and hope I can find enough sticks to get a fire going hot. Yo, I've got some more flour. I got some yeast, a little bit of sugar, and some salt. I'm going to add some water, hopefully not as much as I did last weekend, and see if I can get some bread rising. Maybe we'll have some bread. So as you can see, I've kind of stacked these up into like a teepee kind of a thing. Now these that I've stacked up into a teepee, these are pretty wet. They've been up here for probably 15-ish minutes now, give or take, and none of them have even really caught any licks on them other than, you know, what they're getting from the bottom. My hope is that by feeding all this stuff in the middle, it'll dry up the rest of the stuff a lot faster so that I can start using the bigger stuff on, and then once it gets hot enough, hopefully I can just keep drying stuff out. But this time of year it can be really difficult to find dry wood. I mean, in Appalachia, because there's a lot of precipitation in the winter. And I mean, everything that I found is waterlogged. And so I'm just trying to make the best of what I can. And this is what we got. I'm getting hungry. I've been hungry. I also realized I did not remember to bring my breakfast.
Bullshit! This is unacceptable, soldier.
So there will be no fire in the morning, and I will not be on the trail too long in the morning because Big Dill likes breakfast. But I also put too much water in the flour. Again, if that helps.
It never, ever, ever goes our way.
I used less water this time, but I also forgot that I had used a lot less flour because it was just me. So I'm going to go ahead and get the one meal that I probably hope I can't screw up. We'll see. I've got one of those Mountain House meals. I think it's buffalo chicken mac. So it's going to be great. The buffalo chicken mac. Hopefully it is. So what I've got here, it's a fire maple. It screws into your butane.
We don't know what the hell is going on right now.
Propane mix. And then you twist it. It's got a little self-igniter. And then you can see the flame going up in there. It's got a little lid. Shouldn't be too long before the water's boiling. Open that thing up, and then boom, dinner. Okay, so I got my freeze-dried food going. It's really hot, boiling water, you know. And then I got the other things in the fire, and I was pretty much like, it's either gonna go or it's gonna light. For now, it's going strong. We'll see how long. I think I've got to wait 10 minutes for this thing. 5 minutes stir, and then 4 minutes. Okay, yeah. Whew, I can't wait for dinner.
This is exactly what I've been waiting for.
There's some kind of real loud rumbling. What in the world? It's like a helicopter, maybe? I have no idea. Okay, I put my bread in this little pan, the dough, and I mean, there's not really anywhere good to put it. Not much fire going, but we'll see what we got.
One eternity later.
You can see the remnants of the failed bread. It probably wouldn't be too bad. I had, although a few nibbles of it, nothing super great. Maybe I should do more research on that. I've been listening to the Lord of the Rings audiobook, The Fellowship of the Ring. And for those of you familiar, they're in Lothlorien right now. Kind of what it feels like to be around here, you know, in all these woods. Except the time is 6:43. 6:43. It's been dark for an hour and a half. And I mean, I can only listen to an audiobook for so long. Mercy. Probably going to be an early night for me. Sleep until I wake up, I guess. And then go back to sleep and get up whenever the sun comes up over the mountain. Okay, so I'm in the tent, and it's like around 7 p.m. My sleeping bag does still have a leak. I patched it, but I don't know. It's a cheap sleeping pad. Hopefully I'll have another one for the next camping video. It's about 1:50, just before 2 a.m. I had to re-inflate my sleeping pad. It was completely flat. I was just laying on the ground at that point. It has gotten significantly colder. Definitely below freezing. Oh, it's nice inside the sleeping bag, but it is brutal outside the sleeping bag. I'm going to try and go back to sleep. Bye-bye. It is about 7:20, and the sun is starting to come up. I think it's getting to be light outside. My sleeping pad, it's going to be getting thrown away. I've been sleeping on the ground all night, or trying to sleep. But we're going to get stuff packed up and get out of here pretty quick. Okay, it's morning time. I'm all packed up. You see the outline there? That's from where I was, and everywhere else has frost on it because it's always cold. It is December. It is December. So I'm going to get off the mountain and go get warm and eat. I'll touch base if I have any trail wisdom. So one thing I find interesting in particular, so the sun is rising. It's going to come up right there-ish. And it set last night right about there. It's a winter thing. It has to do with the tilt of the earth and how far north we are. I mean, even just in eastern Tennessee, you can see that the sun doesn't just set in a direct, east-west line. So some parts will stay colder than others, like the north-facing side, like that side of the mountain side that you're looking at facing this way. It doesn't get a ton of sunlight in the winter because the sun is always more or less on that side of the mountain. It doesn't really, it just doesn't get a lot of sunlight, especially down in the holler, the closer in between the mountains you go. But again, still pretty. So I just saw a sign at the trailhead that I didn't see on the way up. I should probably pay better attention to the signs.